Love and respect aren't always the same thing. Have you ever had a family member look you straight in the eye and tell you they love you? Yet somehow, after every single conversation with them, you leave feeling ignored, dismissed, or completely emotionally exhausted. Many people assume that because someone is family, their behavior must naturally come from a place of love. But psychology tells us something very different. A person can genuinely love you and still consistently disrespect you. The hardest part is that disrespect inside a family dynamic rarely looks obvious. It doesn't always show up as shouting matches or outright insults. More often than not, it hides behind passive-aggressive jokes, family traditions, misplaced concern, or that classic line, "We're only saying this because we care." So how do you actually know the difference between loving concern and systematic disrespect? Here are 7 subtle signs your family may not actually respect you, even if they constantly remind you how much they love you. Before we dive into the first sign, we need to establish one simple psychological framework. Healthy families are built on 3 distinct foundations: love, respect, and boundaries. Think of these as the structural pillars of any relationship. Love creates the initial emotional connection. Respect protects individual identity and autonomy, and boundaries keep that connection healthy over time. When respect is missing from this equation, love doesn't remain pure. It slowly mutates into control. Without respect, affection becomes conditional, personal autonomy is viewed as rebellion, and your identity is expected to yield to the family's expectations. Keep this framework in mind because it is the lens through which every sign ahead will become crystal clear. Sign 1. They constantly dismiss your feelings. When you tell your family that something they said or did hurt you, do they try to understand your perspective, or do they immediately explain why you shouldn't feel that way? Pay close attention to how they respond when you express genuine emotional distress. You might hear phrases like, "You're just too sensitive," "You're completely overreacting," "That never happened," "You're misremembering," or "You're making a massive deal out of nothing." At its core, respect starts with acknowledging another human being's emotional reality. You don't have to agree with someone's perception of an event to respect that they are experiencing pain. Respect means saying, "I didn't intend to hurt you, but I hear that I did, and I am truly sorry." When a family repeatedly dismisses your emotions, they aren't just disagreeing with you, they are engaging in emotional invalidation. Over time, this constant dismissal teaches you to second-guess your own intuition, doubt your reality, and suppress your valid emotions just to keep the peace. Imagine you're at a family dinner. A relative makes a sharp remark about your personal life that embarrasses you in front of everyone. Later you pull them aside privately and say, "Hey, that really hurt my feelings." Instead of listening, they roll their eyes, laugh, and repeat the joke to the room. Look how upset they're getting. The core issue here was never just the initial joke. It is the outright refusal to recognize your pain once you made it known. If they can't bring themselves to respect your basic feelings, what happens when you start making major decisions for your own life? Sign 2. They treat your boundaries like personal insults. What happens in your household when you say the word no? Do your decisions meet understanding, or are they greeted with emotional guilt trips like, "After everything we've done for you"? The silent treatment for days or weeks, sudden explosive anger, or intense emotional pressure to change your mind. Healthy families may not always like your boundaries. It can be disappointing when plans change or expectations aren't met. But disrespectful families punish your boundaries. Why? Because to a family dynamic built on control, a boundary isn't seen as self-care or healthy differentiation. It is seen as a personal insult and a direct threat to their authority. Respect sounds like, "I'm disappointed you can't make it, but I understand you need time to rest." Disrespect, on the other hand, sounds like, "You're abandoning your family. How could you be so selfish after all our sacrifices?" Consider a situation where you decline an invitation to a Sunday family event because you are exhausted from working 60-hour weeks. Instead of acknowledging your burnout, the family group chat explodes with messages accusing you of thinking you're too good for them. You aren't being punished for what you did. You are being punished because you dared to choose your own needs over their control. People who truly respect you will never demand unlimited, unrestricted access to your life at the expense of your well-being. Sign 3. They only value you when you're useful. This sign is often the hardest to catch because initially it feels like appreciation, it feels like love, but pay very close attention to when that attention actually shows up. Look at the pattern of communication in your family. Do they only call when they need financial help, a ride, or a favor? Are you expected to perform unpaid labor or constantly act as the family therapist? Do they reach out when they need to vent, but vanish the moment you need emotional support? Are you virtually ignored until you become functional to their immediate needs? Respect values the person for who they are. Control values the benefit the person provides. If affection, warmth, and communication disappear the exact moment you are no longer useful, that connection was never built on mutual respect. It was built on utility. When you are only valued for what you can provide, you aren't being treated as a family member. You are being treated as a resource. For instance, you might go months without hearing a single word from a family member. No check-ins, no birthday messages, no basic interest in your life. Then, out of nowhere, your phone lights up with a text. "Hey, hope you're well. Quick question. Can you lend us some money or help us move this weekend?" Sign 4. They constantly undermine your decisions. Have you ever noticed that no matter what choice you make as an adult, someone in your family insists they know better than you? It doesn't matter what area of life it touches. In your career, they say, "That job isn't stable. You should have listened to us." In relationships, they claim, "They aren't right for you. You've always had terrible taste." In parenting, they criticize, "That's not how we raised you. You're doing it wrong." And in finances, they dismiss you with, "You don't know how to handle money." Advice becomes disrespect the moment it systematically ignores your autonomy. Dysfunctional family structures often suffer from what psychologists call frozen roles. They struggle to update their internal mental image of who you are. Instead of viewing you as a capable, fully formed adult with your own values and experiences, they continue to interact with you as the dependent child you used to be. Imagine landing a major promotion at work after months of grinding. When you share the news, instead of celebrating, a parent remarks, "Well, you got lucky. Just make sure you don't mess it up like you used to in high school." Every success is attributed to luck, and every independent choice is treated as a mistake waiting to happen. Sign 5. They joke at your expense, then blame you for being hurt. As we move into sign 5, notice how the emotional stakes are escalating. Disrespect often moves from quiet invalidation to overt public humiliation. Pay attention to how humor is used in your family. Are insults routinely disguised as just teasing? Do relatives repeatedly bring up your past mistakes or embarrassing stories in front of strangers? Are you given backhanded compliments that leave you feeling diminished? Humor inside a healthy unit is meant to bond people together through shared joy. But when humor is consistently aimed downward at one specific individual, it isn't bonding. It is an assertion of hierarchy and dominance. And when you finally speak up and express discomfort, the classic defense mechanism immediately kicks in. "Oh, come on, can't you take a joke?" This single line is a manipulative tactic designed to shift the blame away from the person causing the harm and onto you for reacting to it. When jokes become subtle weapons, disrespect becomes explicit. But sometimes, the disrespect becomes even quieter. Sign 6. They rarely celebrate your success, but quickly notice your mistakes. When something genuinely great happens in your life, how does your family react? Do you notice patterns like instantly changing the subject back to themselves or another sibling, downplaying your achievements by saying, Anyone could do that nowadays, immediately bringing up a flaw, risk or negative outcome, or reacting with total radio silence followed by subtle resentment. Respect takes joy in another person's elevation. It allows someone else to hold the spotlight and shine. In insecure or competitive family systems, one person's growth and success are perceived as a threat. If a family member relies on maintaining a subtle sense of superiority over you to feel good about themselves, your success shatters that hierarchy. Consequently, your achievements are minimized, while your missteps are carefully noted, remembered, and referenced for years. You might announce that you've bought your first home or finished a degree, only for the room to go quiet before a relative says, "Must be nice to have that kind of money, just wait until the interest rates ruin you." Instead of encouragement, your victory is greeted with caution, jealousy, or quiet disdain. Sign 7. You feel more peace away from them than around them. This brings us to the most revealing sign of all, the emotional climax of this entire dynamic. Ask yourself one honest question. How do you feel in your body after spending time with your family? Do you feel an overwhelming sense of relief the moment you drive away or hang up the phone? Do you spend the days leading up to a family event filled with dread and anxiety? Do you feel like you constantly have to walk on eggshells or wear a mask around them? Do you feel like you have to shrink your personality just to maintain the peace? Your nervous system notices patterns long before your conscious mind is willing to admit them. If your body involuntarily braces for impact whenever you interact with your family and only relaxes when you leave their presence, it is responding to chronic, ongoing disrespect. You are holding physical tension because your instincts know that your authentic self is not safe in that environment. Feeling this way doesn't automatically mean your family is evil or overtly abusive, but it does mean that the environment is emotionally unsupportive. Love should never require you to shrink who you are just to keep everyone else comfortable. Let's bring this back to our original framework. Love, respect, and boundaries. Family relationships are deeply complex. No family is perfect, people make mistakes, and conflicts are a natural part of human interaction. However, genuine respect isn't defined by bloodlines, nor is it measured by how often someone says, "I love you." Respect is measured by consistent, observable behavior over time. If someone truly loves you, that love must include a willingness to listen when you express pain, sincerely apologize when they mess up, honor your boundaries without punishing you, and celebrate your growth as you become your own person. Because at the end of the day, love without respect isn't really love at all. It's just obligation wrapped in dynamic control. You deserve relationships where you don't have to sacrifice your peace just to earn a seat at the table. Which of these 7 signs stood out to you the most? Have you experienced any of these patterns in your own life, or have you ever caught yourself engaging in them without realizing it? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below.